Hi everybody, it's Joe Krug from Finsweet. In this video, we're going over the Finsweet CMS library for Webflow. We're in the live example going through the load more component. In this video, we're going over the load all option inside the load more component. What we're going to do is load all of the items inside our pagination. Check it out. We have our dynamic list on the page. We have our collection list class set up. This is being targeted by the CMS library. We have our next button and we have 50 items per page. And as pagination works, we know that it will show 100, then 150, then to 200, and so on. As we load this published page, if I go and reload example 3 here, you would expect to see 50 items showing up on the page with a next button to load the next 50. With load all, we're going to be loading all of the items right away. We're going to be loading that first set of 50 initially, the whole page loads, and then we're going to load 51 to 100, then 101 to 150, and so on. And you can see we have all 500 items here. Every item inside of our 10-page list of pagination. And just to confirm, I will go and inspect this. Let's jump in here and check out all these items. Wow, sweet. Here, let's zoom in a little bit here. Nice. Okay, so check this out. Totally nice. We have our collection list wrapper, our collection list, and then we have all of our items. And look how we only have one collection list on the page. We're not breaking this up into multiple lists. It's still under that one original list. We're just loading all the items inside of it. And that's clearly more than our 50 items. So this is working correctly. Let's jump into Designer and see how it's all set up. We're in Designer and we need two important classes applied to our page elements. Here we have the collection list class applied to the collection list element. We also need a class on our native Webflow pagination next button. Notice how this is the next button. This is not a div. It's not a link. It's the next button. And we have our load more button class applied to it. And with those two classes, we can go into the JavaScript and use the Finsweet library on it. Let's go through this code line by line. First, we're going to add the library script to the page. Note that this is not the real script file. When we launch the library, you will have a live hosted script file ready to use. Then we are going to run a function, and the first thing we do is create a new instance of the library. It's going to be targeted at the collection list class, which is the class applied to the collection list element on the page. We're storing that entire new instance in a variable called projects grid. And now projects grid can be used later on in the code where we will use it to run our load more component. The first thing we have to define in the load more component is the button. And the button is load more button. This is the class we gave to the native Webflow pagination button. And then we're going to set load all to true. If you've been watching the other load more videos, you're not going to see load all in those videos. And that's because we just finished this. We're getting ready to launch. We needed to finish this. It's done, but it wasn't done when I recorded the other videos. So if you do not want load all, set this to false. If you have no reason to load all the items, set it to false. If you want to load them all, set it to true. Then we have our animation options. Please go into the visual scriptwriter and customize these to your liking. And that's it. That's all we need to do to load all the items inside of a collection list.
That's effing sweet.